What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close, and we're now on the road to 500 subs. Who knows? Maybe we might hit 500 subs by the end of the summer. Only time will tell. But as I have said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. Excuse me. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed, the possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare out of this set. But it wouldn't be the first time that I pulled a collector's rare, because I also pulled this. Freshly pulled out of my Genesis Impact box opening that I did last year is a collector's rare B-Cop from the Underworld. This thing looks absolutely beautiful, you guys. Excuse me. The centering on the back is a bit off from top to bottom, but honestly, it really doesn't make much of a damn, because I am going to be getting this card graded, but I never really came up with a good opportunity to do so. I apologize, guys, if I pause for a second. I could have sworn I just heard a crash. Could have sworn I just heard a crash coming from my grandparents' room. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I'll check that out here in a second. But with that being said, if you guys want to see these boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue. Maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because more than 80% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys aren't even subscribed. And not only that, but we got to get more women to watch the content as well. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys haven't subscribed yet, make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which basically ties with this week's episode, which is this: what was your favorite match from Elimination Chamber? Let me know down in the comments below. And honestly, guys, the last 48 hours has left the WWE with practically more questions than answers. Again. And one of the biggest questions is, who in the hell can stop and become the new undisputed tag team champions? And is there anybody that can stop Rhea Ripley? Honestly, I don't think anyone can. But I will say this. Looking at the card from the Chamber, and yes, I did stay up all night to watch Elimination Chamber, funny enough. This was probably by far one of the most solid Elimination Chamber cards we've had in quite some time. And I say that because because over the years we've had quite a few solid cards, but some of them, some of them were good, some of them were not, and some of them, made a lot of history, and this year's Chamber was no different. So, for those who are new to the channel, the way this works is this. The way it works is this. I watch the premium live events, and then immediately following the show, I always do a result video of it, of the PLE, and then on Monday, every Monday after a premium live event, I do a episode of WWE's Biggest Issue, where I do a full in-depth review of the card and talk about some of the different highlights that took place from within each match. I give each match a rating of 1 star to 5 stars, and then I rate the whole card from 1 star to 5 in general. So that's pretty much how this works for those who are new, but obviously for those who are not, you guys already know what's up. So let's get straight into it. Kicking these off, we got the kickoff show as the Kabuki Warriors defended the women's tag team titles against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, known as The Way, and obviously Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, known as DIY, along with the now injured Dexter Lumis, are still a part of the faction known as The Way. I never thought that The Way would make their way, no pun intended, to the main roster. Kind of weird. That's kind of weird, isn't it? It's so weird. But anyway, this was a bit of a a bit of an interesting matchup because Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae on social media, they were talking about how awesome Australia was and how cool it would be if they had a shot at the tag titles, and and randomly Adam Pearce showed up and it was like, you guys want a tag? You guys want a shot at the titles? You got it. And funny enough, Indy Hartwell is actually from I believe from Sydney, Australia, which is literally northeast of where Perth is. So it's been interesting that we got to see not 1, not 2, but 3 superstars make their return to their homeland in Australia, and this was a bit of an interesting matchup because this was actually their first. This was actually the Way's first tag team title opportunity since the Kabuki Warriors took the titles from Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, and obviously, yes, both Candice and Indy did have a shot at the tag titles before, but this was right around the time that they had just made their way into the main roster, and this matchup absolutely insane, back and forth, non-stop action, pretty much the norm. But there was a highlight that made all the difference. It was the fact that Indy Hartwell pinned, I believe, Kairi Sane, and came this close from pulling it off until the last moments of the entire match. Kairi Sane with an insane elbow onto Candice LeRae did them in. Still tag team champions. Honestly, this was a solid match, but one thing that I can't tell you is that it is not over for the Way. They will find their way, no pun intended, back into the women's tag team title picture and potentially become tag team champions. This match, absolutely solid. There's nothing, I honestly cannot complain about this matchup whatsoever. I'm giving this one 3 stars. Could it have ended differently? Honestly, given how solid the Kabuki Warriors have been since reuniting, I really don't think so. I really don't think that there could have been any other way, unless if both Candace and Indy were a bit stronger, then maybe there could have been some glimmer of hope. But I really don't see it happening at all. I don't think there was no way that they were gonna there was no way that they were gonna win those tag team titles. But with that being said, we now move into the main card with the women's elimination chamber between Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and the returning Raquel Rodriguez. Obviously, Becky defeated Shayna Baszler to qualify. Bianca Belair defeated Michin to qualify. Liv Morgan defeated Zoe Stark. Tiffany Stratton defeated Zelina Vega. Naomi defeated Alba Fire, originally Shotzi, but because that Shotzi is out with an injury, Alba Fire took over and Naomi still won. And then, of course, Raquel Rodriguez won the Last Chance Battle Royal last week on Raw to qualify. And we also found out that Raquel got hurt as her skin decided to flare up. Yeah, if you guys saw her Instagram, you guys know what I'm talking about. But shoutouts to Raquel Rodriguez. I know that everybody in the WWE universe has said that, oh, Liv Morgan and Tiffany Stratton and Bianca, they're, all these women, they're all MVPs. Don't get it twisted, okay? They had a hell of a performance in that chamber, but the real MVP is Raquel Rodriguez having to go out there into Optus Stadium in Perth, Australia, at Elimination Chamber, competing in the chamber with flared up skin and still have a hell of a performance. That right there proves that Raquel Rodriguez would do whatever it takes to get her hands on another shot at Rhea Ripley and the women's world title. Yes, spoiler alert, Rhea Ripley defeated Nia Jax. Spoiler. Anyway, the order of entry went as follows. It went Becky Lynch and Naomi, then it went to Tiffany Stratton, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Bianca Belair. But if I remember right, I think that was the order of entry. But the order of elimination might surprise you, because this was an all-star match. This right here was an all-star. You have 1, 2, 3 former NXT women's champions in Raquel, Tiffany, and Becky. But among all 6 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them went on to win either a Raw women's title or a SmackDown women's title at some point. But 1, 2, 3, 4. But 4 of these women are all former women's tag team champions. So you have just within all 6 of these women is a combined total of at least what, 20? Hold on. Give me a second. I need to look up how many titles these women have held combined. So let's start with Becky. Becky has won the SmackDown Women's title twice. Becky Lynch has won the Raw Women's title 3 times. Like, no, 3, no. Hang on a second. I need to... If I remember correctly... Let's go WWE. Okay, so Becky has won the NXT Women's title once. She's won the Raw Women's title twice. And then she's won the SmackDown Women's title 4 times. Plus, she's also won the women's tag team titles. So that's a total of 8 titles that Becky Lynch has won. Bianca has won the Raw Women's title, the SmackDown Women's title, and the WWE Women's title each 1 time. So that's 3 right there for Bianca. Liv, on the other hand, is a 2-time women's tag team champion and a former SmackDown Women's champion. Tiffany Stratton, NXT Women's champion. Naomi, 2-time SmackDown Women's champion and a former women's tag team champion. And then Raquel Rodriguez, if my memory is right, she's a 5-time tag team champion and a former NXT Women's champion. So altogether, all 6 of these women combined is 24 championships between all 6 of these women. And I'm gonna be honest, Tiffany, and I get it. I completely agree with you guys. The fact that Liv Morgan and Tiffany Stratton are the true MVPs, having a stellar performance in the women's Elimination Chamber. But not gonna lie, this was completely unexpected. We did not expect Tiffany Stratton to have had that type of performance in the women's Elimination Chamber. And even I'm one to admit that Tiffany Stratton, I'm gonna be real, she has the makings of becoming a megastar in WWE in the foreseeable future. So it'll be interesting. But the order of elimination went as follows: Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, Raquel Rodriguez, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan. Obviously Tiffany Stratton, I believe Tiffany Stratton pins Naomi. Liv Morgan pinned Tiffany Stratton. Then I believe Becky pins Raquel. Liv pins Bianca. And then Becky pinned Liv to win the Women's Elimination Chamber. And one of the biggest highlights from the Women's Chamber was Tiffany Stratton hitting the whole field with a swanton from the top of a pod. Think about that, you guys. Think about that. Yeah. Pretty crazy. I will say pretty crazy. And I will say this: Tiffany Stratton definitely is going to be a major player in WWE in the future. But I think on social media, on X, the entire WWE universe had decided to start a hashtag that said "We want Liv." So I'm assuming this means that that the fans wanted to see Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, which, I mean, the idea seems good on paper, but to be fair, Becky Lynch is already one of the biggest stars in the entire women's division, and Rhea Ripley, she's on that level. So the way I see it, Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley makes better sense than Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, and the reason being is because of one thing: accolades. Who has more accolades, Becky Lynch or Liv Morgan? Answer: Becky Lynch. That being said, don't get it twisted. I want to see Liv versus Rhea, no doubt about it. But the fact that fans wanted to see Becky versus Rhea over Liv versus Rhea proves that we have what are called social media trollers. People will say, "Oh, Becky versus Rhea. Let's do that. Let's make that match happen." Becky wins the Chamber by pinning Liv, and those same people will say, "Oh, that shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened. Liv should have won." That's what are known as social media trollers, and honestly, I find that disrespectful. That's just how I see it. So I'm saying it now, I'm saying it now. Becky versus Rhea, I approve. It's a great idea. But the women's chamber, absolutely incredible, absolutely solid. 4 stars, easy. Could it have ended differently? Absolutely. Definitely Liv Morgan could have won. No doubt about it. But Becky Lynch was just too fast. Was too quick on her feet to pin for Liv to pin Becky Lynch. Becky came out on top. But speaking of people being on top, the undisputed tag team titles between the Judgment Day and the New Catch Republic, and by Judgment Day versus New Catch Republic, I mean Finn Balor and Damian Priest, defending the tag titles against Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, who called themselves the New Catch Republic, which, honestly, I think the name suits them perfectly. But this was by far, arguably, one of the greatest tag team title matches we had seen all year. Probably even better than last year's WrestleMania main event between the Usos and the team of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And that's saying a lot, because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn never got that type of WrestleMania treatment until last year, which was pretty crazy. But this was absolutely solid. We knew that the Judgment Day were coming into Perth. We're going into Perth with a massive chip on their shoulder, but so did the New Catch Republic. Think about this. Tyler Bate is in his mid-20s. Pete Dunne is in his early 30s. So that proves that both Dunne and Bate are going to have an amazing tag team title run at some point down the road. Personally, I would love to see to see Balor and Priest defend the tag titles against New Catch Republic at WrestleMania. That right there would be amazing. What a way to end a stellar tag team title run than to drop the titles at WrestleMania. That's just how I see it. That's just how I see it. But there have been multiple times where Dunn and Bate were this close from winning the tag team titles, including Balor getting hit with a bitter end by Pete Dunne, and Dominic Mysterio drags it. No, it was not a good sight because right as the official kicked Dom out of ringside. If you guys saw Elimination Chamber on Peacock, you guys will know that they blacked out the screen, and that's because of one thing: the fact that there were a lot of members of the WWE Universe in Perth giving Dom one of these, and I can guarantee you that it was not pretty. It wasn't pretty. But even with that, it gave New Catch Republic a fair fighting chance, and Dom, not Dom, Balor and Priest had to prove that they deserved to be tag team champions, and they did. They proved it when Balor hit Pete Dunne with a coup. Dunne or Bate? No. It was Dunne. Hit Pete Dunne with a coup de grace to retain the tag team titles, and honestly, I can't complain. I cannot complain whatsoever. 4 stars easy. This was by far one of the greatest, probably one of the best tag team title matches we had in a very long time. So shout outs to Balor and Priest. Shout outs to Dunn and Bate. Hell of a performance. Then of course we also had the Grayson Waller effect, where Grayson Waller had Seth freaking Rollins and Cody Rhodes as his guests, and Cody basically challenged The Rock to a match. Plain simple. And Rollins said, "You know what? I'm in. You ain't doing this alone. Let's ride together, and at WrestleMania, you will finish the story." Handshake from both men, and I can guarantee you that this Friday on SmackDown, The Rock is going to answer the call, and knowing The Rock from what we saw in 2003, he's probably going to deny the challenge and just say, "Nope. You're not worth my time. You're not worth the effort. So there's to ya." But I will say this: Austin Theory getting hit with a stomp from Rollins, highlight of the night, and Grayson Waller was like, "You know what? Go for it. Go for it. I ain't gonna stop you. Go for it." And I think, and that proves that we might see a face turn for either Grayson Waller or Austin Theory. My money is on Theory. So, but we now move into the men's elimination chamber, and honestly, you look at the amount of championships that all 6 of these men have held over the years, it's incredible. Drew McIntyre, 2-time WWE champion, former Intercontinental champion, 2-time tag team champion, and then of course former NXT champion as well. So he's held approximately 6 titles in within WWE. Then of course Randy Orton, 14-time world champion, former Intercontinental champion, former US champion. What? Let's see. Four-time tag team champ. Hold on a second. So 6, 14. There's that. The Intercontinental title, US title. 4-time tag team champion. So he's essentially a Grand Slam winner. Then, of course, you got Bobby Lashley, 2-time ECW champion, 2-time Intercontinental champion, 3-time US champion, and 2-time WWE champion as well. Then you've got LA Knight. The only title he's ever held in WWE was the $1 million title. Then, of course, you got Kevin Owens, Universal champion, tag team champion, 3-time US champion, and 2-time Intercontinental champion, plus an NXT title run. Then of course you got Logan Paul with the United States title, with having all 6 of these men having 45 championships between all 6 of these men overall in WWE, and that's saying a lot. So this was an all you guys want to talk about the women's chamber being an all-star matchup? This was an all-star matchup. The order of entry though went as follows: Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, Randy Orton, Logan Paul. Yeah, for some reason Logan Paul was the last person to enter the chamber, which was a bit weird. But funny thing, but knowing Logan Paul, he decided to have some fun by doing some doodles in his pod, which I'll admit was pretty funny. But this was absolutely chaotic. I did not expect the men's chamber to be as chaotic as we had seen. Logan Paul got speared through the pod by Bobby Lashley. And not only that, this was, I don't even know how to describe the chaos of the men's elimination chamber, but the order of elimination went as follows: Bobby Lashley, LA Knight, Kevin Owens, Logan Paul, Randy Orton. The closing moments of the entire, in fact, if I remember correctly, Drew McIntyre pins Bobby Lashley, then pinned LA Knight, and then I think Kevin Owens pinned LA Knight. Logan Paul pinned Kevin Owens, if my memory serves right, and then Randy Orton pinned Logan Paul, and because that Logan Paul hit Randy Orton with the brass knucks, Drew McIntyre pinned Randy Orton to win the men's elimination chamber. And now we know that at WrestleMania, it'll be Drew McIntyre versus Seth freaking Rollins for the World Heavyweight title. 5 stars easy. I ain't saying nothing else about it. Could it have ended differently? Knowing Logan Paul, probably not. I don't think it would have ended any other way. I think the way it ended probably would have remained the same. But now we move into the main event for the women's world title between Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax. Obviously, spoiler: Rhea Ripley did defeat Nia Jax. But some of the highlights that came from that match: Rhea Ripley almost hit a power bomb onto Nia Jax onto the announce table, but it was all for naught. Nia Jax was able to hit Rhea Ripley with an elbow onto, literally through the announce table from a chair, mind you. And then obviously Rhea Ripley hit Nia Jax with a superplex. This was as hard-hitting as it could get. It was a clash of the Titans. But in the end, Riptide was what it took for Rhea Ripley to retain the the Women's World title in front of her family, in front of her friends, and in front of her homeland in Australia. 5 stars easy. No way this match could have ended differently. Nia Jax had no chance. But she did have a stellar performance. I will give her that. Overall, the card was pretty solid, and as we move closer and closer to WrestleMania, one has to ask, what will be next? What will be next? We will find out soon enough, but the card itself, 4 stars easy. I don't even know. Honestly, that was about as solid as it can get, and I can't wait for not just for the Hall of Fame, but also for NXT Stand and Deliver and for WrestleMania, because that whole weekend is gonna be a hell of a time, and I cannot wait. But with that being said, guys, that will do it for this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button, and follow me on all my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.